serve you as you come through the lobby with your food tonight. So at this time, Reverend Wallerab, would you please get up and lead your table around the pool that way, and everybody just get in line and follow. Thank you. Get out there right now. You go out this way.
Memorized, don't you?
Banquet. A little unusual, but we are going to have the invocation after you have all eaten. Not that Reverend Walrab was not intended to do this, but Pope John Paul said he had to get back to Rome, could not stay in St. Louis any longer, and Reverend Walrab said he'd be glad to substitute.
Thank you, Rabbi. Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for this occasion, which brings us together in fellowship and celebration. We are grateful for those persons and businesses that are to be honored tonight. We thank you for their contribution to our community, and we pray they will continue to prosper. We thank you for our Chamber of Commerce and its leadership, and ask that you will bless our endeavors to strengthen our community and to make it grow. Help us all to be responsible citizens, working together to enhance the quality of life in the Fairfield area. We thank you too, Lord, for the food that we have eaten, and pray that it will be used to strengthen us to your honor and glory. Amen.
Well, again, good evening to tonight's Meet the Candidates Forum. Oh, I'm sorry. That'll be another night. Yes. Sorry, Ed.
You never get this kind of a crowd.
No, that's right. Yeah. No. I do want to welcome you all. As before we really get going tonight, I would like to introduce the head table to you. This isn't a play on hair or anything saying head table, but and who am I to comment on this? We will go from right to left. Our past president now, Mr. Jeff Wilson, an ambassador in waiting apparently with her red coat, Devlin Ort, my wife Diane, Kevin Toohey and his wife Louise, and Dave Reif and his wife Diane. I had assumed after doing this last year that I would be sitting out with you tonight, but apparently memories run slight as Bob ages, and although I don't think I can blame Bob, I think it was a committee, but I thank them for the opportunity. The one thing that you do know when you're asked to Emcee is that you're not going to get the Man of the Year. And that was a major disappointment to me. And you know, when I mentioned this to Diane, she says, well, what in the world do you think you have done to deserve this? And unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but I would say that I played a lot of golf with Pat Doyle this summer, and I thought, you know, what could be more deserving? For those, you know, that have worked closely with the Chamber, and there certainly are a lot of you out there, you know that this is the year of Jeff Wilson not being president. It's been 2, I know, fun years for Jeff. He lobbied for a third and lost. And, you know, you can hold your applause till the end. I know that Jeff is now hoping that since he is president, that the hair loss will stop. You know, this is also the year that Bob Phipps apparently, now I'm just saying apparently, I don't want to, you know, I don't like to start rumors or anything, but apparently joined the Gotti crime family. And I'm only saying this because of his black mob car and that darn hat that he wears. But his one problem is that Bob doesn't talk with his hands. And I know that if he would, that certainly he could move up in the organization a little bit. So you can all pull for him. But now we will get on to the program, and it might help if I had one. Tonight we're going to begin with Dave Neff. Dave is our first presenter. As you all know, where is Dave?
Right here.
Oh, there he is. Don't come up here yet. Dave is, no doubt for those of you who know him, one of the lazier individuals that you'll ever find. We go by his house all the time, and there he is sitting out by the pond, watching the dogs, doing nothing. And, you know, he'd rather watch the water ripple than probably do anything. But seriously, for those of you that do know Dave, he no doubt is one of the finest people that's working to make Fairfield a better place. It's amazing to me, whether it be the first day really I came back to town, there's Dave planting trees in front of our place, to raising funds for, I'm being serious here, to raising funds for exercise equipment at the rec center. And it's hard to imagine that the guy ever sits down to sleep or lay. I don't think he lays down, he sits down because then he can hit the ground running. So it's my pleasure to introduce Dave Neff.
I'll get you the $50 bill later. It was about a year ago at this time that I had the good fortune of completing my first year of the Ambassadors Club, and for whatever reasons were out there, they called me up to present an award to me as Ambassador of the Year. And so it's my pleasure this year to share that same type of award with a very deserving ambassador. This ambassador is great qualities. He gets out and makes things happen. And there's only one word that I need to say. When you say Greg, you've said it all. Greg Lonberg, please. Thank you. Job well done. Thank you. Very good.
Our next presenter is Dave Reif from the Fairfield Economic Development Association, or FEDA. It's always a question, what does FEDA do? Now, I hear this all the time. What in the world are they doing? Certainly we know that there is a business park that's been built. There's been some housing projects. I know Dave can lend some comments on this because I think it's a question that, gosh, I ask every day, Dave. So I'm sure that you can fill us in on this. Dave Reif.
Well, Jay, I could have filled you in, but our illustrious shared exec told me as recently as noon today that I had 30 minutes, and we were deeply honored to be such a big part of this evening. And
Time to go, Dave.
then our MC tells me just at the table that I have 30 seconds. So you're going to get the streamlined version, which you probably will appreciate. We're proud to be invited also as, to share your night of achievements. We think we had a 99 or a 98 that was very good, solid, despite some things that might look like they were pulling back. We think we came out, especially in the commercial sector, quite well with actual sales and development in several areas. And some of the things in the industrial park that you haven't seen yet because they're not open to the public, but you will, that we're quite pleased with, are certainly Rex Terrence's new building south of the Libertyville Savings Bank, and also the just stunningly beautiful addition that Chapel Marathon is doing, Kevin. It's just going to be outstanding for the community. So real outstanding indications that Fairfield's alive and well. I'd like to have my board stand up because that's part of the mystery is who are we? So I see Rex Crockett.
Feature somewhere.
Yes, John Hammis, Craig Foss,
Pete's hiding right here.
and Pete Nelson, and I think Royce is out of town. We've got Ross Walker, and certainly John Morrissey, and Tommy Thompson. I've seen him here. It's hard to see with the lights, and our mayor, and yes, out of town. But thank you, men and ladies. Bev Nelson. Very little industrial or heavy industry inquiry so far, simply because lack of workforce or certainly of skilled labor is something we hear all day long, and I think that that's part of the hesitation there. But certainly the residential is still fairly active. And we think that, well, I guess the other thing I wanted to mention, the big silent industry that we don't all, that I'm more connected with and you don't all think about all the time is, I know Rex Crockett's a little sensitive when you talk about what's the biggest industry in the county. It's agriculture if you take it in the aggregate. And certainly it's not feeling too well right now on multi-year lows. But overall, I think that we're looking for 99 to be very positive, despite a few pullbacks. You know, the one thing that a lot of us are concerned about is the YK2000 problem. I've seen Jay Mitchell here, and I won't begin to get into that because I don't know what all to believe. But I guess the thing I'd like to leave you with is no matter what kind of problem or problems come at us this year, we can focus on any of them and maybe even overdo a little bit. But I think the thing that I want to always remember is that there's kind of a shared peace and confidence that Fairfield, Iowa, USA is probably the top choice maybe in the world for most of us to live and raise our families, and we wouldn't most days trade our problems for anyone else's. So I'd like to thank you for having us here tonight, or for letting us be seen tonight, and please enjoy tonight's awards.
Thanks, Dave. Before we continue with the program, I meant to say at the start a couple of thank yous. And we've got a couple of tables here that will need a round of applause. Schaus Voorhees, which is represented by Gus Schaus tonight, and French Reneker with Ken Buckland as president, and the rest, if you just rise real quick, they have done something new this year, and that is to help sponsor this event. So I think they all deserve a nice round. The other new twist tonight was the trio, which I think was really a nice addition, and if they're in here, they deserve a nice round. And I will remind you at the end, but the trio will be playing at the end, and everybody is welcome to stay and dance also. And please watch out, because Diane and I will be charging to that dance floor. The next set of awards are the Business Improvement Awards. These awards are going to be accepted in most cases by senior management people, and I can tell you in some cases, really senior management. This year our presenters are Jody Kerr and Deb Davis, who will be giving out these really well-deserved awards. I've never quite known how they decide who's going to do this. You know, why are Jody and Deb doing it tonight? But I was told it had something to do with them not being pregnant. And I don't know, where's Bev? I don't know, is that correct? It's an inside joke. If you don't know it, sorry. But if Jody and Deb will come up, these are really the awards that are for those companies that have done something in some ways concrete this year to add on to their businesses, or done something to improve their business. It's going to be a long list, so sit back and relax a little bit. And did you want them to hold their applause till the end, or would you like them? Bob says hold your applause at the end, which means clap very hard at each one.
Bob says read fast, so we'll get started. Yummies Bakery opened a year ago this month just off the town square in the former Made Right Diner. After extensive remodeling by building owners Jack and Barb Raymond, Yummies moved in and added the finishing touches. In the front of the building, a colorful awning was installed, complete with park benches and flowers. In the retail bakery area, a contemporary mosaic tile floor and sponge-painted cloud walls were added to accent new bakery features. Cookies, pies, morning breakfast items, and the biggest buns in town are displayed in the dry showcase. And in the cold case, 25 flavors of yummy cakes, cheesecake, French eclairs, and brownies are featured. Recently, a new wood basket display has been added, displaying a dozen varieties of fresh baked breads and rolls. Yummies is one of the first bakeries in Iowa to have a computerized system that can print any photograph on a cake, and the photo reproduction is totally edible. Their reputation for elegant wedding cakes has attracted customers from Ottumwa, Mount Pleasant, and even Iowa City. Yummies employs 10 to 12 full and part-time people and is looking forward to expanding this year with more products. Accepting their 1998 Business Improvement Award tonight are Lisa and Larry Oswald, owners of Yummies Bakery. Celcom, a local provider of cellular and paging service, opened a new retail store in October 1998 at 1909 West Burlington in the former Napa Auto Parts location. This 2,000 square foot building was redesigned to provide Fairfield area residents a convenient place to shop for wireless communication services. The facility was remodeled to provide a mixture of retail floor space to accommodate those customers seeking wireless products, as well as office space to be used as a Celcom customer service center. The design of this store is being used as a model for future development of Celcom retail stores throughout Iowa. Celcom would like to thank the many customers who have visited the new store and look forward to serving the Fairfield community. On behalf of store manager Josh Perry, here to accept the award is Celcom's market sales manager, Wanda Bagby. This might have been the one you were referring to, Jay, I'm not sure. J&B Plastics broke ground in July 1998 to begin their expansion. Local contractors, including Carlson Concrete Specialists, Schaus Voorhees Contracting, and Whitmore Electric, worked to complete the project by mid-October. They are utilizing the additional 10,000 square feet as 75% warehouse space and the remaining 25% as production space. Some rearranging took place that freed up floor space in the older building to satisfy inventory needs for just-in-time delivery as requested by customers. The new portion includes enough area to add 2 more extrusion lines for future expansion. A 2-bay dock was also part of the project. Previously, they rented dock space off-site. Now they are able to have all phases of their operations at one location. Overall, they roughly doubled the size of the plant. Accepting the award tonight for plant expansion at J&B Plastics is CEO Bob Silverman. So you did get an award, Jay. Last October, you might have noticed a transformation taking place on West Burlington. The Hardee's was given a makeover within a few days, converting it from a blue Hardee's to a star Hardee's. Colors were the most noticeable change on the outside, but the inside went through some more involved changes. Remodeling on the inside took place to correspond with the introduction of a new menu, the flame-broiled menu with new side orders. Here to accept the award tonight is General Manager Craig Ash and Assistant Manager Robert Gilchrist. Frozen treats, always in demand year-round. That is what the Burlington Subway store added last year. Additional space was finished off at the north end of the store to provide seating, and a TCBY counter was added. The result, TCBY treats for everyone. Ice cream and yogurt cakes and novelties are available, as well as soft serve and hard-packed yogurts and ice creams. This place is definitely for you ice cream lovers out there. Owners, Dave and Becky Graneman, couldn't be present tonight to accept the award. Congratulations, TCBY Treats. I don't think they did, but Jay wonders if maybe they said free yogurt for everyone. I don't know. 3 additions were made during 1998 at Winfrey Storage. A new 40-foot by 100-foot building was added. A new 10-foot by 300-foot building was added. And 2 10-foot by 40-foot buildings were totally remodeled. There are now 400 units available in Fairfield and 100 units in Ottumwa. This all adds up to 60,000 square feet of storage space. Jeff Winfrey, owner, is here tonight to accept the award for Winfrey Storage.
That's going on my land. I should give it to Jay.
In April 1998, the First United Methodist Church began its $850,000 remodeling project and completed in December. The second and third floors, which are composed of classrooms, were totally gutted, rebuilt, and new carpeting was laid. A kitchen outside the high school and middle school youth room on the third floor was constructed for youth activities. The first floor, excluding the sanctuary and narthex, were also gutted. All offices and work areas were relocated together. The chapel was moved to the opposite end of the building. The reconstruction included preserving the original stained glass windows, the original altar, and some of the original woodwork. In the basement, a large area of classrooms was gutted and reconstructed. 2 new restrooms were added, as well as a restroom especially for toddlers, complete with toddler-sized fixtures. A new roof was put on and the outside of the building was tuck-pointed. The intent of this major project was to preserve a historic building in addition to making it user-friendly to the congregation and the community of Fairfield. The First United Methodist Church, built in 1924, is now listed on the National Register of Historic Buildings. Accepting the award tonight is Raymond Dake, 1998 Chairman of the Board of Trustees, and Gary Sparks, current Chairman of the Administrative Council. A few years ago, I think I was up here presenting an award to our next recipient. Everybody's Whole Foods expanded their physical facility from 4,000 square feet to 9,500 square feet in 1998. As a result of this expansion, the inventory was increased to more than $250,000, including approximately 1,000 new items. For the movie buffs, the video department was also doubled in size. It sounds as though I might be doing a three-peat next year. Currently, a full-service customer service desk, an express lane, additional parking space, and remodeling are underway. Michael Swink, Vice President of Everybody's Whole Foods, is here to accept the Business Improvement Award tonight.
First, I have to say I'm sorry, ambassadors. Next time I will wear my red coat. Walking into Express Yourself Nail Care and Tanning Salon feels like walking into a garden. The old paneling was painted with a beige color and then used a seashell design in the 2 tanning rooms and a scroll design in the main area to give it a soft finish. With the tall ceilings, they used lattice to extend the new 8-foot walls and wrap them with grapevines and lights. There are lace curtains and lots of greenery to create this garden effect. Here to accept the award tonight is owner Erin Rainier and her husband Randy. In January of 1998, the United States Cellular opened their new retail center in the rear half of what used to be the Noisy Goose Cafe and Gift Shop. They remodeled the interior, adding a front sales or showroom, an inventory room, a large room with 3 workstations, and 2 extra office rooms. Business in Fairfield has been good as they have activated approximately 1,200 new cell phones. Their retail center handles all cell phone sales, customer service problems, takes bill payments, and answers about 1,000 questions a day. Well, maybe not quite that many. They furnish phones and free airtime to many events in town, such as Ragbri, Jefferson County Fair, Bike Fest, and Jefferson County Law Center. Accepting this award for United States Cellular is Bill Connor, Senior Retail Sales Consultant. An almost complete remodeling at Jody's Touch Hair Salon has made it a very light and cheerful place. There is new wall covering, new flooring, new cabinets, and new built-in shelving that allowed more room to expand her product lines. There are now 4 cosmetologists. Jody Harwood, my little sister and owner of Jody's Touch Hair Salon, is here to accept the award. Fairfield Printing Company purchased the former Krieger's building in 1998 and added on 2,400 square feet for the press room. They remodeled the showroom into a design studio and offices plus the retail Xerox space. That space was 2,500 square feet overall, and they increased it to 11,000 square feet. They increased parking from 9 cars to 200 cars. They now have more than an acre and a half to expand if the need arises. Accepting this award tonight are John Loris, Therese Cross, and Edward Spinella.
Thank you.
Auto parts stores are evolving. No longer the male denizen of yesteryear, the modern auto parts store now caters to a broader range of customers. Arnold Motor Supply, located at 1502 West Burlington, is one of the more modern versions. Clean and well lighted with a tremendous selection of auto parts and accessories for the modern vehicle, they are able to offer their customer the ease of one-stop shopping. Today, Arnold Motor Supply is one of the largest partner-run businesses in the United States. The people who work in their various locations are also owners. They are affiliated with the Auto Value Parts Store Group, who is one of the largest independent automotive parts store groups in the nation. Arnold Motor Supply has been a part of Fairfield since 1974, when they purchased the old Settlers Auto. They moved to their current location in 1979 and remodeled the interior in 1998. They currently employ 13 people and offer automotive parts and supplies, machine shop services, and paint and body supplies. Mel Allen, manager, is here tonight to accept this award. Parkview Care Center opened their 14-bed special care unit in June of 1998. This unit has been created for persons with Alzheimer's and related diseases. The special care unit is a separate, secured wing at the nursing facility. This unit has been designed to create a quiet, low-stimulus environment free of excessive noise such as intercoms, televisions, radios, and visual distractions. Residents are allowed to experience a high degree of personal freedom. An enclosed outside courtyard will enable them to exit freely without risk of wandering away from the facility. A consistent, individualized daily program is the basis of care. Activities are conducted throughout the day to maintain awareness, encourage independence and individual interests, and increase self-esteem. These activities redirect anxiety and use energies in a positive manner while minimizing stress. Parkview Care Center is committed to caring for the physical, social, psychological, and spiritual needs to each resident. The special care unit is an integrated part of the continuum of care that this facility is dedicated to providing. The estimated cost of the project is $100,000. Accepting the award for Parkview Care Center is Peggy Grothe, RN, Director of Nursing. You can find just about anything you need for hunting and fishing at the Wildlife Shop. After remodeling part of their building, they more than doubled their inventory by adding the following lines: black powder supplies, coon hunting supplies, trapping supplies, paintball supplies, and fill station and predator hunting supplies. In addition to their Advantage Camo line, they became a dealer for Mossy Oak Camo and Biological Game Feed Company. They have become a distributor of Hastings barrels and are now direct dealers for over 30-some hunting, archery, and fishing companies. Owners Vic and Karen Stickles are here tonight to accept this award. An explosion and fire on Thanksgiving Day 1997, which destroyed the front of this company's building, turned into a benefit for their office employees in 1998. While cleaning up from the fire and moving offices around, this company did not miss a day of production. The offices of Fairfield Aluminum Castings Company were rebuilt and renovated at a cost of $250,000, offering employees more space, light, and attractive working environment. While busy with office restoration, FALCO also installed 2 automatic molding lines, one new line for large molds, another line for smaller molds. This $1.5 million expansion more than doubled the capacity of the sand foundry operation. Adding to a busy year was the installation of a second $250,000 heat treat furnace. This new furnace doubled the company's heat treating capacity. Because of all these improvements and expansions, we are proud to present this 1998 Business Improvement Award. Accepting the award is Dick Hunt, President. Burger King of Fairfield is a division of Cadina Corporation, a restaurant company based in Ottumwa, Iowa. The initial investment in the community in land, building, equipment, and startup costs was approximately $925,000. The restaurant employs 40 people, full and part-time, and will have an annual payroll of approximately $300,000. The social causes which Cadina Corporation supports at the community level are in the areas of education and sports. They have already pledged $1,500 to the planned improvement at the Fairfield Recreation Center and will watch for future opportunities for similar activities. Please welcome Kyle Stansberry, manager of Burger King, to accept this award. Save-A-Lot purchased and remodeled the building at 1200 West Burlington Street. They divided the building into 2 sections. They opened to the public in July of 1998. The other section of the building will have a new business opening in the spring of 1999. Dave and Charlene Bertling, owners of Save-A-Lot, are here tonight to accept this award. And I think Jody has one more award to give out.
This is a one-way street back here. Before I present the last award, I want to remind all those recipients of the Business Improvement Awards and my last award to stick around after the banquet because you are going to get your photo taken. So. This last award that I have, the 1998 Community Improvement Award, is being presented to Jefferson County Hospital. Construction of a new solarium began in 1997 and was completed in 1998 with a dedication ceremony at the hospital on April 3rd. The construction contract totaled $74,144 for an addition of 15 by 30 feet. Several sections of glass have awning openings for fresh air in appropriate weather. In addition, this all-season solarium has both heating and cooling capacities. Some major contributors made the facility possible, including the Jefferson County Hospital Auxiliary, Dr. and Mrs. I.N. Crow, Carl and Mary Zillman, Rex Graby, Orrin Champ, Wilma Moore, Oral Hall, and Edwin Reinier. In addition to contributing $50,000 towards construction of the solarium, the Jefferson County Hospital Auxiliary also contributed $7,000 for furniture and accessories. In case you haven't had a chance to check it out, the solarium is off the west wing of the hospital. The soft rays of a rising sun, or a glimpse of the man and the moon, the varying earth tone of the landscape, and the colorful bank of flowers are now within the scope of vision of patients and residents at the hospital. Accepting the award tonight is the Director of Employee and Community Relations at Jefferson County Hospital, Judy Cox.
naturally, a woman always has a little bit more to add. I'm sure that you've listened to the accolades of the Jefferson County Hospital Auxiliary. The total cost was $74,000. And of the $74,000, the Jefferson County Hospital Auxiliary contributed $57,000. So we really feel that this should be a shared award, and I would like to invite Linda Scheffler, First Vice President of the Jefferson County Hospital Auxiliary, to come up and share the award.
Don't worry. Pretty remarkable, all of these awards and what goes on in really this small town in a year's time. Even more remarkable to know that both Jeff Winfrey and directly or indirectly myself received each an award this year. We grew up together on East Fillmore, next door neighbors, and I would say 35 years ago, you would have said maybe we would have been served with warrants. But certainly not an award. And nobody needs to agree with me on this, but the next award is the Entrepreneurial Award, which was won last year by Dexter, accepted by Rex Crockett. This year, sit down, Rex. This year, Rex will do the presenting on behalf of Dexter. As many of you know, Rex, after a very long career with Dexter, is retiring this year. Many of you don't know, however, that Rex was involved in one of the major innovations in the commercial laundry industry and really in their history, and that was adding electricity to the wringer washer. And I'm not going to bring up the fact that Rex was best friends growing up with the original Maytag repairman. I'll be nice. But seriously, for those of you, and you have lived in town more years than I have, many, many hours of Rex's personal time have gone into the city of Fairfield, from the school board to FEDA to the Fairfield Manufacturers Association. It's a long list. It's a pleasure for me to announce and introduce Rex. It's going to be hard for this town to replace such a leader, but it's nice to know that we're going to replace a leader as he goes out on his feet. And you're all invited down to Florida, I know, to stay with Rex and Helen in the town that they're going to buy. Rex. Yeah.
You got 2 minutes,
Well, I'm a slow reader, and this is and I'm fairly sure that you and Jeff were served with warrants. Dad's had to bail you out. The Entrepreneur Award this year goes to Creative Edge, and let me tell you a little bit about them, because I learned a little bit about just reading what they've done. But Creative Edge was incorporated in August of 1989. The company's vision has been to become a nationally prominent service center for the emerging technology of water jet. Water jet in 1989 was in its infancy, having no established markets and considerable technical problems. Nevertheless, Jim and his management team saw that the new technology was destined to grow and find a role in architectural and industrial fabrication. Waterjet is a remarkable technology. Super high pressure water at 55,000 pounds per square inch, traveling at 3,000 miles per hour, mixed with garnet abrasive, is a powerful, versatile cutting tool. Waterjet demonstrates the ability to cut titanium, stainless steel, brass, aluminum, ceramics, glass, rubber, and even man-made's oldest and most beautiful building material, stone. Most of these materials had limited fabrication options prior to Waterjet. In the beginning, Creative Edge's challenge was to find and develop markets for water jet services. It was a tiny company with a worldwide potential for varying designs and architectural applications. Thus, in the early years, Creative Edge found itself working on projects as diverse as fabricating the super tough ceramic tiles on the space shuttle, putting thousands of tiny holes in TV tubes for George Lucas special effects, cutting holes in tens of thousands of stainless steel spoon handles, cutting 1/10 inch sterile tips for surgical tools, and slicing bulletproof plate glass for a Saudi palace. Through such experimentation, the customers and Creative Edge together gained an understanding of water jets fabrication. This process shaped the development of the company's current 6 application areas: stone and ceramic floors, linoleum, vinyl, and rubber floors, signs and architectural metals, aerospace metals, medical instruments, and industrial machine parts. Today, the company occupies 100,000 square feet in the Fairfield Industrial Park. From an initial group of 12, the company has grown to 140 employees. The 2 original machines operating intermittently has grown to 22 cutting stations operating around the clock 7 days a week. Creative Edge is among the world's leading factories for water jet services. The town of Fairfield is known in the water jet industry as the site of the country's largest water jet fabrication shop. Recently, the company has entered into an agreement for equity financing for a series of acquisitions in 4 additional water jet factories located in Orlando, Dallas, Cleveland, and Green Bay. These acquisitions will approximately double Creative Edge's production and sales volume. All headquarter operations will remain in Fairfield, and projections call for a continued growth of 30 to 50% in the next 5 years. Congratulations to Jim Belilove and Creative Edge, and Jim, will you come forward and get the award?
That was the quickest speech Rex has ever given. That he was told. Tonight, a little different. It's not on your agenda, but we thought it'd be very nice to recognize the past presidents of the Chamber that are with us tonight. Going back to 1980, Mr. Lefty Pesh. And if you would rise and stay standing, then we can acknowledge when everybody's up. Lefty, Craig Foss from 1981, Tommy Thompson from 1982, 1990, Dick Smith, 1991, John Hammis. We jump right along to Judith Cox in 92, Sarah Cochran in 96, and Jeff Wilson in 97 and 98. I think they all deserve it. We now are going to move into the fun part of the evening, which are the President's remarks by Jeff, written by Bob. It's a system that has worked well this year. You know, Jeff has been fortunate to be a 2-year president of the Chamber. I can assure you, having gone to college at Drake with Jeff, that he spent more time on Chamber work than he did at Drake. You know, I know that there was a battle prior to Jeff taking the 2nd year as president, because as I understand, Sarah Cochran, where is Sarah? Hi, Sarah. In just a second. Okay. Sarah was asked to come back for another year of being president. And she tried to find how she could be president again, and the bottom line was she could not be president again because she could not find any more land to sell to the city. All right, come on. Okay. But I would tell you that this brick is from the old Courtney building. And it sits on my desk every day to remind me to be wary of attorneys selling land.
You gonna give it to her?
No, she can't have it. She can't have it. Okay. But now back to Jeff. As you can imagine, being president for 2 years is a lot of work. It happened, of course, due to Mike Brewer leaving, Bob Phipps coming on board as the executive vice president, executive secretary, Grand Poobah, whatever the name is. But Bob was supposed to be here tonight as your president. Instead, Bob gets paid. And actually, Jeff says if it wasn't for the monthly stipend, he probably wouldn't have done it either. But it is a lot of work, and I think everybody recognizes that, and it's a wonderful thing that Jeff actually did say, okay, I'll take the second year. And as you also know, last year, President Clinton sent quite a few telegrams to Jeff. They were very timely. And if I would have remembered that it was going to be on FPAC, I would have probably advised the president not to send these telegrams. Before, as we were out having cocktails, I presented Jeff with a present, however. The president is a little preoccupied today to send telegrams, but he did send a package to Jeff, and if any of you would like to come afterwards, we decided we would not show everyone because some of these things shouldn't be seen. But he did receive a little present from the president. Jeff is going to do a variety of things while he comes up here, but I think before he even comes up and as he comes up, he deserves really a thunderous round of applause for 2 years of really very hard work. Jeff.
Well, contrary to what's been said so far, Bob only wrote a few speeches. But no, I've never been one to make long speeches, and after some intense negotiations with Kevin, I kind of yielded some of my time, and Kevin's never been short on words, so he was glad to accept a few more minutes to make his comments. They did give me one, I assume I still have the okay to do one last official act as, well, president, past president. And if it's okay, Bob, to take a motion from the floor, is that okay? Or? Okay. I'd like to see if I can get a motion to designate the official publication for the Fairfield Chamber of Commerce. So does that mean the ledger's in?
Did Jody second that?
So I'm going to get to some more of the basic duties here. I'd like to introduce some of the people on the Chamber board. We've had an excellent board. It's probably been the most gratifying part of Chamber work is to meet and work with some really great people. And give you a few names here. Our president-elect, and probably the thing that I am most proud of in the last part of 1998 was a phone call I got from Bev that she was asking what it was to be president of the Chamber. Well, she did say yes, and she's president-elect, so in the year 2000, Bev Nelson will be president of the Chamber. Other vice presidents, we've had Jody Kerr. If you'd like to stand, please. Steve Triplett, is Steve here tonight? No. No? Deb Davis has already been up here. And this was not an inside appointment. Devlin is a vice president. And then I get to be treasurer. For our directors on the board of directors, Sarah is stepped down and but still contributing. Jill Burnett is on the board of directors. Tim McCaleb. Jim Pedrick, is Jim here tonight? John Stever, Roger Gay. Boy, good turnout tonight. Jay Mitchell, Christopher Bush. Boy, this is a great turnout. And Larry Smith.
We have a quorum.
Yes, we do. I think we can vote on that. Thank you very much, you guys. Associate board members, and it's going to be a lively year because I sat down to the first meeting in January, and right next to me were Dave Reif from FEDA and Pete Nelson, who's representing the Manufacturers Association this year. And we kind of had a reunion of our when we had our selection committee to come. We did decide on Bob finally. It was no bumps and bruises in that room, but it was it wasn't a well, it was a clear majority, Bob. How about that? But the selection committee had Pete and Dave and a few others, Dick Smith over there. It was a good bunch, and we will have a reunion. Let me see who else. Judy Brobston's not here. She's the Progressive Merchants representative, and Marshall Gavria is representing the Fairfield Entrepreneurial Association. Ex officio members, we have Dick Walrab. I think is the mayor still out of town? Yes. Okay. And Michael Spivak represents Maharishi University of Management. And I don't believe John's here tonight, I don't think. Okay, John Estel represents the Board of Supervisors. Didn't affect me a bit. Okay, and our staff is top drawer. Bob Phipps is the Executive Vice President. Nancy Morrissey is the Administrative Assistant. Judith Ward is the Secretary. Judith and Nancy, I'm sure Bob had nothing to do with putting this on tonight, so thank you very much. And also in the chamber office is Marshall Laux. Okay, what else is going on? Past Director Awards. Come on, I know. Do you have those for me? Yeah. The one thing we asked you to do, Bob. The awards, please.
You have 30 seconds, Bob.
Oh, okay.
I need the awards, Bob.
I'll hand them out. You just announce them. That's yours. I get one. Okay. Past Director Awards, and I did know him, Judith. Kinda. Carol Bermel. I didn't see Carol here.
She isn't here, but I'll take it.
Okay. Ken, there's Polly right over there. Dale Kraus. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Dale.
Who's that one for?
Is this a message? This is for me. You said I had to be treasurer this year. Okay. Thank you. Okay. President's Award. Oh, this is the fun one. President's Award is a real nice idea. This is not a one-person job by any means. It's a group that does a lot of hard work, a lot of conferencing, a lot of phone calls, a lot of decisions that are tough to make, and you can't do it without the expertise of the people that are working with you. And there's numerous occasions where I picked up the phone, and my boss is here tonight, and I probably spent too much time doing chamber work sometimes, but the phone calls to get through the crisis periods, I can't believe that there's a lot of screened phone calls in Fairfield, and I can't believe that people actually accepted my calls when they knew something big was going on. But one woman who was just fantastic with helping us through a lot of tough periods, the selection committee, it was amazing how she just calmed the seas and good decisions were made. And Sarah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, now I get to pass the gavel. Is there one?
Yes, sir, but I want it back.
Oh, really? Kevin, it's your turn.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. I've been waiting for this for 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. I've never seen this before, and I'll probably never see it again until next year. Doesn't look like it's very well used either, so 3 minutes. All right. When Bob tells you 3 minutes, you know, just like Rex, you know, he took a short amount of time. In regards to Jeff, there are just so many great things to say. First, I want to just give him a great hearty thank you for 2 years of effort. Just so you know, of all the presidents that have been chamber president since 1927, Jeff is the only one to serve 2 consecutive years. We've had one to serve 3 years and one to serve 2 years, Chuck Espy, but those are at different times, so you are in history. But, and it does feel like it, doesn't it? But not that you're history, but so to speak. But really, Jeff, there were many, many times when we had issues that would require some deep thought, that we had to make a choice certain ways. And Jeff always, in my opinion, had a reasoned approach. He would counsel us, and I really took the counsel to heart to take some time, think about it. At the same time, Jeff has always, in my experience, been open-minded, quick to laugh and to have a good time. But he must have done very well at Drake, because if he devoted, just the half of the time that he did at the chamber to the time that he did at Drake, he did very well, because really hundreds of hours of time. So Jeff, again, thank you very much. So that's about 30 seconds. I have a couple more minutes, Bob. It really is an honor to be to serve as president this year of 1999 for you, and as we move into the 21st century. I have several goals I'd like to share with you that I have personally, that I'd also ask for your help that we can get accomplished this year. The first is to continue the good work, improving relationships between meditators and non-meditators. You might recall that in the session that the annual retreat had for the chamber last year, of the 20-some items that we looked at, from senior housing to retail development, the top vote getter from the chamber board was to improve relationships, and I think there's been a lot of progress in that area. One quick example is the Community Relations Committee that's been formed, that's been meeting now every month for the last 8 or 9 months. There's about 40 people on that group from leaders within the area here, many of whom are here this evening, and it's split about half and half. It's been an opportunity for people to get to know each other. I think it's been good to help break down some of the misunderstandings and mistrust, and really to help, I think, in terms of overall greater cooperation as we go forward. Another goal for me and hopefully for others is to continue, and where possible to improve, some of the many good programs that the chamber is currently doing, and I won't list them because Bob has got a short leash on me, but I'll mention just a couple. One is the Business Showcase, which, as you might recall, we did last year for the first time down at the middle school, which was a great success, and we're looking forward to doing that again this year with some other very exciting things. Farm to Business Exchange, which I think is now in its 4th year. Really a great opportunity for the agricultural sector to see what the business and manufacturing sector does, and vice versa, and I think it's been another great opportunity for people to get to know each other. Business After Hours has been a great success that actually I think Jeff first brought some years back to us, and we'll be looking to do that again this year. There are also some other new programs that we're looking at that aren't yet in place, but that we think will happen this year, and I'll mention just a couple of them. One is an entrepreneurial conference. As many of you know, Fairfield is really known throughout the state and actually throughout the Midwest for our entrepreneurial spirit, which goes back actually well over 100 years, and in recent years, of course, has gotten a lot of good press, and we want to expand on that. And we're looking to have a conference. The first one actually will be on June the 3rd that'll be co-sponsored with the Chamber, of course, with the Iowa Department of Economic Development, the Iowa Bankers Association, and the National Association of State Venture Funds. So you'll be hearing more about that. This other one is something that some people have, in fact, several people have approached me on. I think it's a great idea. I don't know how it's going to get done yet. We have an events committee with Deb Davis, and hopefully we can work on this idea. But that's what has been known as, or what has been talked about as the Taste of Fairfield. There's almost 40 restaurants in our town of 10,000 people, which I don't think there's any other town in Iowa of our size that has the wide choice of food fare. And so the thought was, or is, to have an opportunity where these restaurateurs could offer a sampling of their foods in a festive, maybe a day-long or an evening situation. So we'll be looking at that. And you'll be hearing more about the Fairfield Development Foundation, which is the foundation of the Chamber to help continue promoting the Chamber mission. And this last one is a goal that may be more tangible for some of you. How many of you have ever tried to set your watch to the time at the clock tower? I made the mistake once of, okay, I'll set time. And I was either really early or really late. So I've not talked to anybody, Tommy or Ed at the city council yet, but I think if, what it takes, we got to raise some money. One of my goals is we can be coordinated, and so that when we get pictures of Fairfield, the clocks look the same. So again, it's really an honor for me to serve as president for this year. There have been many excellent people that have come before me, and I'm hoping I'll be able to live up to yours and their expectations. We've got a great staff that Jeff has mentioned, Bob and Nancy and Judith and Marcia, and they handle so many calls and issues and things that you'll never hear of. I'll just mention one quick one that I actually don't remember all the details, but Judith told me, you'll never believe the kind of call I got the other day. I said, what is it? And someone wanted to know how to make a salad dressing or something. I mean, just, bizarre things. But the Chamber is the answer place, And she gave her special recipe. It's no surprise, we really do have a fabulous community, excellent employment, a robust economy, really a great quality of life. We have a lot of great opportunities in front of us as we go into the 21st century, and often, sometimes there'll be challenges that come with great opportunities, and I think the goal for all of us as we work as a community together is to meet those challenges head on, honestly, with some creativity and a goal towards making life better for us all. So I'm looking forward to a great year this year. Looking out at the room here, I recognize many of you. For those of you who I haven't met or don't know yet, I'll look forward to meeting you this year. If you see me, please introduce yourself to me if I don't know you, and I'll also do the same. So again, thank you, and I'm looking forward to a great 1999.
Very nice. Congratulations, Kevin. As you know, Kevin brings a couple of firsts to the job of Chamber President. First of all, he's probably the first Chamber President that sells drugs. And if you don't know him, you'll have to ask him what that exactly means. And maybe you're not the first, I don't know. Secondly, as you all know, he is also the first. Well, let me digress a little bit. As we all know, Fairfield is a very diverse town. It probably always was to a certain degree. It began as a small farming town, industry came in, but the community now has really been transformed into a nice small city where you can have Indian, Chinese, Mexican, Thai, Middle Eastern food. You may not like it all, but it's here. You look at some of the stores that sell natural medicines. You can buy hemp clothing, aromatherapies for a variety of purposes. And in a way, and Kevin represents all of this because, as we all know, Kevin is the first native Californian to head the Chamber. And we all welcome you. The next, of course, is the exciting one. Everybody here is eligible, I guess, except for me. And I'm hurt, but it's all right. The Citizens of the Year are always presented by last year's. Got one more what? It's not on mine. Oh, That was not on mine. I must say, Bob called me at about 6:15 and told me about this. Jeff's going to come back and has a little award to present for the Fairfield Concert Association.
Kevin, I just wanted to say about the time on the clock tower at the courthouse. You don't have to take that up with the city council.
I'm learning.
We can ask a lot of dumb questions.
Okay. The Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce would like to recognize an organization that has contributed. Bob wrote this speech. I can tell. An organization that has contributed great entertainment for our community for the past 50 years. I would like to ask Dr. James Dunleavy to come forward at this time. Dr. Dunleavy, on behalf of the Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce, its officers, board of directors, and its membership, we would like to present the Fairfield Community Concert Association with a certificate of recognition on its 50th anniversary. Through hard work by your organization, you have provided our community the opportunity for adults and students to have a varied and delightful cultural experience that would otherwise have been impossible. This certificate is our way of saying thank you. Thank you.
I'm a veteran of about 45 to 50 years of showing Fairfield off to prospective doctors, Lutheran ministers, way back, a couple of superintendents of schools. And when you show your community off to prospective leaders to move in, they are, of course, interested in, is it an economically viable community? Well, that's what the Chamber is interested in. But if it is, and it always has been, then next they want to know, if they're in the right age group, how about good schools? And the thing that they want to know next is it a good place to live? What else do you do? And so the organization that I'm receiving this award for on behalf of has spent a half century trying to bring live entertainment and concerts to this community so that we don't have to be entertained in our own front room sitting on a couch. You can go over to the high school or to wherever we are able to perform these concerts and have live entertainment, and there's all the difference in the world. We were given a heritage at the beginning of this century. We had a Chautauqua organization, used to meet in the park. We're now going into the next century, and we hope our children will always know what live music, live theater, and even maybe a lecture or two. Wouldn't that be a throwback to 1900? Thank you.
We're going to, and we're keeping Bob up, I know, but we do have another presentation. I guess maybe we've gone a little. It's not even on mine either, but we do have a presentation that Kevin would like to make at this time.
This will come as no surprise, but there is a past president, Jeff Wilson, and we'd like to give you another gavel, actually one you get to keep. And on this it says the Past President Award presented to Jeff Wilson for outstanding leadership and service as president of the Fairfield Chamber of Commerce, 1997 and 1998. So Jeff, great job. Thank you so much.
Well, now we're back on my program. The next award is the Outstanding Citizens of Fairfield, and as always, will be presented by last year's recipients. Last year's recipients, of course, were Craig Foss, who I figured got it last year because if he waited too long, he'd make some nasty decision on the school board and would never get it. And then I tried to come up with something for Susan Kessel, and I'll be honest, I can't. I don't know of anyone in this town that puts forth the effort that Susan does in so many areas, and I can't make a joke of it. All I can say is thank you on behalf of Fairfield. I can't see where Susan is, but I know she's going to come forward. But what a wonderful worker for Fairfield, as Craig is, but I could poke a little more fun at him. So if Craig and Susan would come forward, we will prepare to present the Citizens of the Year.
Being named Fairfield Citizen of the Year 1 year ago has been a highlight of my life. To share such a distinguished designation with the likes of Nan Cameron, Dave and Sally Neff, and beloved Jackie Parkin is truly a humbling but gratifying honor. Part of the joy of receiving this award was the unexpected cards, letters, and comments from members of our community, and I want to say thank you. I remember one card in particular that said, "Congratulations, no one deserves it more." That card was from this year's winner. Always the thoughtful, caring person. It's been difficult to sit next to her at meetings lately, not being able to lean over and give her a hug and say, "Congratulations, no one deserves it more." This woman is known for her modest and quiet ways of doing work behind the scenes for many years. She does not like attention called to her good deeds, and I'm sure she's sitting in this room right now wondering what community leader will be recognized. I first realized the Citizen of the Year was an active community member when I was in Bob Glocky's high school art class. She would quietly arrive and help Bob on art things. Little did I know that I would come to love, respect, and know this woman so well throughout the years as we worked together for the arts. She grew up on a farm near Stockport, Iowa, the daughter of Clem and Emmett Topping, attending country school and Lady Birmingham High School, which she graduated at the age of 16 as valedictorian in 1944. She went to Parsons College, where she majored in English and graduated in 1948. She met her husband, J.Q. Bell, there when he was enrolled as one of the returning veterans from World War II. She claims it was love at first sight on her part. They were married in August of 1948, by which time Jay had already transferred into vet medicine at Iowa State University. Unable to get a teaching job in Ames, Dorothy worked at the university bookstore for the next couple of years. Upon Jay's graduation in 1951, they moved to Parkston, South Dakota for 2.5 years. Daughters Sue Ellen and Martha were born there, and Jay had a solo practice. When the veterinary medical practice in Fairfield opened up, they bought that practice and moved back to Iowa. Sons David and Scott were both born in Fairfield, and Dorothy was fairly occupied with 4 small children and assisting with scheduling and telephone duties for her husband's practice. Dorothy also became very active at the First Presbyterian Church, editing the newsletter for years, and for a decade chairing the wedding committee, which involved organizing receptions. She was always active in church circle and team taught 5th grade Sunday school with Vera Young for maybe 15 years. According to Martha, she always had time for the usual cookie baking for school events.
In 1982, Dorothy's husband, Jay, died suddenly, and she was left to continue the job of parenting alone. A few years later, Dorothy's longtime friend, Pauline Wolfe, suffered a fall, which left her unable to speak. For several years, Dorothy took on the task of teaching her friend to read and talk again. Dorothy's the kind of friend we would all like to have. Early last spring, Bob Glocke was fortunate enough to have Dorothy at the wheel when driving home from an Iowa City doctor visit. It just happened that they were on the same schedule and route as Washington's devastating tornado. And I've heard one story that Bob wanted Dorothy to drive faster. But Dorothy said, "I'm already going 85. The world is a better place because of Dorothy Bell. 3 of her 4 children are in art-related fields, and Sue Ellen has a PhD in nursing. Martha is an architect in Palatine, Illinois, and I'm delighted to say offering her expertise on the future Jefferson County Civic Center. David is a landscape architect, and Scott is with the Pittsburgh Symphony playing oboe. Dorothy now encourages her 2 grandchildren's talents by things like inviting them to come and visit Grandma and attend the Fairfield Art Association's summer art camp. It's easy to see why her family is so artistically inclined when you look at Dorothy's record of activities. Dorothy is secretary of the Fairfield Concert Association, a position that she has held since Alma Linda retired. The Fairfield Art Association has been blessed with her as a secretary, newsletter editor, and original organizer of all 10 years of the Garden Tour. She was a founding member of the Fine Arts Promoters and has been on the Southeast Iowa Community Symphony Board. Countless newsletters have come from this remarkable woman. She's been active in the same Women's Afternoon Bridge Club for over 40 years, in addition to a couples bridge group. A member of PEO, Chapter C, Dorothy enjoys traveling. She loves poetry and even occasionally writes some. Her family describes her as a gardening fanatic, and no one can miss her beautifully landscaped berm any time of the year on Fillmore Street. As her flowers bring us nonstop joy, so does it give me great pleasure to present to you Fairfield Citizen of the Year, Dorothy Bell. Appropriate to present you some flowers since you've given so many to us. Thank you.
We should have her to the back of the room.
I'm very surprised and very honored. I shouldn't be standing up here alone. There are so many fine people who work in the arts organizations in this community, and it's been a privilege to work with all of them. Thank you.
As I understand it, Dorothy has some special guests that surprised her this evening. Looks like a couple of daughters and a son. I guess I'm the last one, Jay. Is that right?
Thank God.
And quite frankly, I'm a little nervous up here, knowing how Jay likes to dance, and being kind of between Jay and Diane on the dance floor. I'm worried about tire tracks and footprints on my forehead. Like Susan, having received the 1998 Citizen of the Year Award is one of the greatest honors I've ever received, and one of the additional benefits that goes with that award is that I get to be one of the presenters this year. So I'm very honored this evening to have the opportunity to present that award for 1999. Unfortunately, it won't take some of you too long to figure out who this award winner is. This recipient has lived in Fairfield since 1968 and has played a very prominent role in the development and growth of one of Fairfield's major employers, overseeing corporate restructuring, changes in ownership, and product development. This recipient has also been very active in many civic organizations, having been a two-term president of the Fairfield Community School Board, member of the Board of Directors of the Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce, Fairfield Community Fund, Walton Club, and Trojan Booster Club. Additionally, this recipient is a former president and director of the Fairfield Rotary Club. While president of the Fairfield Rotary Club, a Christmas fruit basket fundraising project was organized under his direction, with money being used for part of Rotary International's Polio Plus program, a program that is eliminating polio in the world. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to become more specific. If our recipient tells you he was the best baseball player in his high school class, trust me, don't believe him. Nor was he the best gambler. After graduating from high school in 1959, Ohio State University became the next stop on the road to Fairfield. June of 1963 was a big month as he was married and obtained his Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration. After stops in Newark, Ohio, and Connersville, Indiana, in May 1968, he took a position with Philco Ford as manager of industrial relations in Fairfield. He was one of the 9 incorporators of the new Dexter Company and one of its owners. The foresight of our recipient and his partners ensured that the Dexter Company would remain part of Fairfield in the early 1970s, and decisions made by them recently have helped ensure that Fairfield would have Dexter part of its community in the future. As in September of 1998, the company became wholly owned by its employees. In February 1972, he became Director of Industrial Relations for the new Dexter Company, and in May 1978, he was elected to its Board of Directors. In May 1994, he was promoted to Vice President of Industrial Relations. Then, in November 1989, he was elected President and Chief Executive Officer of the Dexter Company. In May 1998, adding to his list of achievements with his company, he was elected Chairman of the Board of Directors, a position that he currently holds. During his tenure as President, Dexter has had many new product initiatives, introducing a new stack dryer in 1989, an 18-pound washer in 1990, a 40-pound washer in 1991, a 55-pound washer in 1995, 55-pound and 80-pound dryers in 1997, and then in 1998 the company introduced the Easy Card laundry management system. In 1994, 5 short years ago, a new laundry manufacturing building and corporate headquarters was constructed on West Grimes Street. All of these developments have resulted in the Dexter Commercial Laundry Products division rising from an unknown to a solid number 2 position in the industry. With his leadership, the Dexter Company continues to work on the introduction of a stack washer-dryer combination, work to increase its capacity to produce ductile iron in its foundry at Fairfield, work to expand its market in Europe, and to continue to employ a workforce of 560 people. He is currently a member of the Board of Directors of the First National Bank in Fairfield, Board of Directors of the Fairfield Economic Development Association, United Methodist Church, and the Coin Laundry Association. Since moving to Iowa, he seems to have forsaken his loyalty to the Ohio State Buckeyes and has become a loud, loyal Hawkeye. Well, he got it part right. In addition to these civic and professional accomplishments, he has been and continues to be very active, trying to smooth the rough edges of his tennis and golf games. And they are rough. In his younger days, he played in the Fairfield Industrial Basketball League and Fast Pitch Softball League. He still plays tennis in the Hacker League and actually is credited with the creation of a new tennis term known as Crocker out. That's a term that refers to any ball he can't return. And even though he's a little older, he still hasn't lost that competitive spirit, which can best be exemplified by an incident last summer when he became ill and passed out at work. Even though he was taken to the hospital by an ambulance, he still made his golf match at noon the following day. After explaining to his wife, "The fresh air will do me good." Our recipient is the father of two lovely daughters, Lisa, who resides in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Cindy, who resides in Ames, the second best city in the state, by the way. And with his wife, Helen, he enjoys 3 wonderful grandchildren. Won't you please join me in congratulating 1999 Fairfield Citizen of the Year, Rex Crockett.
All right. You got 2 minutes. Thank you very much. This is truly an honor, and Helen and I came to Fairfield 31 years ago and raised our kids here, and it's been my work career, and it's been a great place to live and grow, and this is truly an honor, particularly when you consider some of the past recipients, and I feel very humbled, and thank you very much.
You know, perhaps the joke is on Rex because it's going to cost him a few $100 next year to fly back to present next year's recipient. But the meal will be on the house, so we actually have reached the point of the evening, unless Bob has something else, where we are almost done. I thank you for letting me poke a little fun at some people. You know, years ago as a kid, and Charlotte, sitting here, Charlotte Lamb told her, she knew she would be poked at some point. She told her son Michael and I, one of my good friends, that if we worked hard and studied hard, we'd really do something with our lives. And today Michael is an extremely successful medical malpractice attorney, and I get to talk to you. But we thank you all for coming. Again, there will be music. Watch out for us running that way. I believe, does Creative Edge have a display? Yes, out here. So feel free to please spend some time with that. Thanks to French Reniker and Schaus Voorhees and Gus for helping sponsor this. I'm sure some of you will get a call from Bob next year about sponsoring this. So you may not want to answer that phone call either. Thanks to Jeff. Good luck to Kevin. And everybody drive home safely. Thank you. Wait, I said, all winners, please stick around to have your pictures taken. Thank you. We just said that.
Good job.
Thanks. Good luck. Oh, good time.
I know I'm going to get a good call.